Okay, so welcome to the next week class, and here basically we are going to take another important activities related to the HRD, and that is career planning and development. And this career planning and development we will be discussing about various issues related to career planning and development. If you remember, when we were talking about the HRD activities in the beginning, we say that there could be different activities or scope of activities for the HR professionals, especially the development, learning and development professionals, right. And it starts with training and development activities, right. So, after training and development activities, we also discuss some other HRD interventions, starting with coaching, mentoring and counseling, right. Then we discussed about a different approach to HRD, and then as an alternative to what you call training and development activity, and that is where we talked about the competency mapping, okay, and that where we are going to create a competency profile, map the competencies of the people, okay, based on superior performance, right. So, that first part is over. Now, in this part basically you know that HRD professionals are also responsible for managing careers in the organization. So, we will discuss some of the issues related to different kind of activities, roles and processes which is adopted by the individual as well as organization, and what are the various issues related to career development in this chapter, right. So, we are going to start this module 9, which is basically related to what you call career planning and development. Okay. So, we starts with the basics of career planning and development. We will discuss some of the terms that is used and how do we go about it. Let us see it. So, it starts with the first session, and we start first of all discussing about how do you define a career. Okay. Many of you may not be aware that career does not mean that yes, you are in a job. That of course, it is you have a career, but career is something that is not not to be looked into short term. Okay. Correct. So, if you look at the first statement, which suggests that the property of an organization or an occupation, it means what? It means the career is associated with an organization or with an association. It is the characteristics or property of an organization or occupation. Okay. Your proper organization or occupation may be different, okay. Irrespective of what kind of organization you work, you have a career there, right. Okay. And when you are going to use career, you know that career means what? So, this term has been derived from carry out, right. Carrying means that moving ahead. Okay. So, the idea is that when you are talking about career in an organization, it means that you are going to move ahead in your profession or in your organization or occupation or in your say job where you are working, right. And that is why it is progressive in nature. It means that you are moving from one position to senior position, and since you know that most of the jobs in organizations are hierarchical in nature, right. So, your career at a particular point suggests that at what level you are working in the hierarchy. It is something like this. So, I am trying to create a hierarchy in the organization, and you will find that the hierarchy is something like this. Okay. And these are different levels in the hierarchy. Okay. So, suppose you join an organization in the beginning as an engineer, you might be at E1 level, then you move to at E2 level, at E3 level, E4 level, E5 level, right, E6 level, E7 level, right. Or if you are a scientist, you know that you join as a scientist B to start with, then you go to C, then D, then E, then F, then G, and at the highest level you have scientist H. Okay. Similarly, in an academic institution, you join as a lecturer, then you become assistant professor, then you become associate professor, then you become professor, then you become senior professor, right. So, what this progression shows? This progression shows that you are moving from a lower level position in the hierarchy to a higher level position, right. Okay. And this is what I mean by progression, and this progression actually depends upon your success and that particular level. So, if you have been able to do well at this particular level, at even level, and your performance is satisfactory, then you might move to the next level. Okay. So, this is the kind of progression that is made, but in order to progress from E1 to E2, then you have to look at your performance, okay, because performance is the criteria which could be used. Okay. Apart from performance, you can also use experience, right. So, performance and experience, and that is what we know as merit, okay, and seniority. These are the two basic criteria that is used in promotion of the individuals, either one of them or in a combination of them, right. So, when you are talking about progression or increasing success, you are moving from one level to another level. It means that you are getting promotion in your career and moving to higher level. The only thing is that number of jobs become less, right, once you move in the hierarchy. For example, there could be only one CEO in an organization, right. There only are a president of a company. Similarly, if you here you have only few vice presidents, then you could have a number of general managers. So, the number of people at the down level you will find that the hierarchy would be less compared to a senior level, and that is why this is what we call as hierarchy, okay, hierarchy of positions or levels. And then if you are moving successfully from one level to another level, then it can be said that you are successful in your career, and if you are not able to move successfully in your say career, it means that you have not been able to move to higher levels in the hierarchy. So, careers also suggest progression and increasing success on a timely basis, right. Then that also suggests that what is the status of your profession. Okay. So, if you are at this level, this will suggest that okay, you are a senior manager, right. At if at this level, it means that you are a assistant engineer, correct. So, this shows that this is the status or position of an individual in an organization, right. And as a part of your career particular level, then you are going to involve in those activities which you are supposed to perform on that particular level. Okay. And this also shows stability of works pattern, a person's work pattern. It means that as you move, you are going to perform at that level. Okay, you remain active and stable at that level. When you move to this level, next level, then this stability is gone for some time, and then again you try to establish yourself, right. Now, if you look at this definition of career or this explanation of career, it should be clear to you that career is something which starts when you join a profession, but it does not end with your retirement, okay? Because you might be having a second career, a different kind of career, maybe after retirement you might be doing something else, right. So, it is a lifelong process. It does not mean that once you retire your career is over, right, because you might be doing something else, right. So, we will discuss these things at a later stage also. So, now look at some of the definitions that we have, like what do you mean by career? Okay. So, it means that whatever you choose to do or pursue to do across your work life. So, it is related to work life. So far as you are working, you have a career, otherwise not. So, it is a general course that a person chooses to pursue throughout his or her working life, and that is how we are trying to define careers, right. Next level, another term is career planning. So, what do you mean by career planning? Okay. So, it is an ongoing process where an individual sets certain goals for the careers and identifies the means to achieve it. Means that as a part of a career planning exercise, you set your goals that okay, down the line 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, where you want to be, right. Suppose you are assistant manager, okay, and then you 10 years down the line that okay, you want to be the head of the department or general manager of say a particular department. It means that you are here at this particular level, okay, and 10 years down the line you say that you want at least you should be the vice president of the company. Okay. So, becoming vice president could be your career goal in a time bound manner, that is 10 years down the line. Okay. So, in order to move from this place from an assistant engineer to a vice president of a company, so you are going to engage various activities which will help you to see that you move to that particular level, right. So, whatever activities that you are going to do will be a part of what you call your career planning activities, right, at the individual level. Now, from individual level we are moving to organizational level career planning. So, what is organizational career planning? You know that it is not individuals who are going to plan their career in the organization. Okay. Organizations also identify career paths, and the activities that an individual should engage to grow and develop in his career, right. So, for example, what you see here in this is a career path, right. This is a career path moving from one position to another position, one place to another place. Okay. So, this is the career path, the what you call career ladder also. So, this is the career ladder, and from this you have to move to this, and accordingly here, and accordingly you move to this place, right. So, you have to climb this career ladder, and in order to climb, at each stage you are going to perform certain activities. Okay. It is not only your responsibility that you are going to do certain things, okay, at the individual level. So, it means that you take certain initiatives for your growth and development, for your performance, so that you move ahead in the career. But organizations are also responsible. Okay. So, that is why they plan certain interventions for your growth and development, they educate you, they organize development activities, they groom you, they mentor you, they coach you, so that you can move up in the hierarchy, right. So, career development or career planning from the organizational perspective would be to ensure that you engage in those activities to perform well and reach to higher level of positions or levels or position in the hierarchy in a particular organization, right. So, now these terms are clear to you, that what is career planning and organizational career. Now, there are certain other terms that we need to discuss is career path. Okay. This career path is a line of movement through which an employee move, okay, during his employment with any organization. So, this is what I am discussing here. This is basically is the career path. You are moving from one place to other, right. So, this is the career path, and then you are moving from one place to another place, okay, in the hierarchy, moving up in the career, right. So, this is what career path is. Then we have another term which is known as career development. Okay. Career development is that any activity or any formal structured activity that is taken by the organization to help people to acquire new skills or experiences, so that they are not going to perform only their current job on a effective basis, but also they could be considered for higher level jobs, right. So, organization also go for certain career development activities for the individual. For example, they can sponsor you to go for higher education as a part of your career development activities. Okay. Like you know, the defense organization sent the engineers to go for higher studies for doing M.Tech and other kind of things, so that they could be groomed and developed to take future positions, right. And that is a part of you can say or as an activity on the part of the organization to ensure better career development of the employees, right. So, when you go for this kind of education, you are going to develop better skills, you are going to have better experiences, which would not only going to help you to perform your current job, but also future identified job, right. So, after discussing these terms, I think it would be clear to you what are these terms. Now, what is the role of HRD in career development, right. So, you remember apart from training and development activities, career development and planning is also an important activities that could be carried out by the HRD professionals, right. So, they have to understand that how they are going to design career development activities for the individuals, so that they can grow and develop, right. So, understanding employee career is very, very important. So, you have to understand their needs and expectations. You need to see that you are able to assess them in terms of their strengths and weaknesses. You need to see that they perform well, so that they can grow in the career, right. And then you have to see that how are going to influence these people to ensure their growth and development in the careers, right. So, when I am talking about influencing those careers, it means you are going to ensure and see, you are going to plan certain activities in order to ensure whether it is related to development, mentoring or coaching or whatever, to ensure that people develop those qualities in order to get promotions, okay, or go ahead in the careers, right. The idea is that an HRD professional, since you are concerned with the development of the employee, you have to see that what kind of changes would be required in the individual, so far as their knowledge, skill and behavior is concerned, okay, depending upon the requirement of the organization, so that they can grow and develop, right. So, the idea here is that you need to plan interventions, whatever interventions you are going to plan, and activities related to their learning and development or training and education, development, coaching, mentoring, whatever it is, which is going to help these individuals to change their knowledge, skill and attitude in the organism or in the person, right. So, you are responsible to bring about a change, because if they do not bring about a change in the behavior in terms of the knowledge and skill, probably they will not be able to go ahead in the career. And that is why you will find that the two kind of people are not getting promotions. Those who do not perform well because they lack knowledge. So, instead of getting promoted, they could be going down also, they could be demoted, and that is also part of the career planning process, that if you are not going to perform well, you may be either held up that positions, either could be transferred to a different kind of job where you can perform well, right, or you could be demoted. So, the three things that is related to this is what we call as promotion. You are an individual, so you get promoted, or you can go for transfers or demotion. All these are activities, all these activities are part of what you call the career planning activities by the organization, and it all depends upon the major important factor is your performance and whether you have the skills and knowledge or not in terms of qualification, experience to perform a job effectively at that particular level, right. So, depending upon performance, which is result of what you call your skill and knowledge. So, if it is downwards, you are demoted. If it were not suitable for the job, then you have to find out a different job. So, you could be transferred to a different jobs. If you are doing well, then you might be promoted. Now, the role of HRD professional is to ensure that the requisite performance level is achieved by the individual by bringing about a change in knowledge and skill base. If you are not able to bring about a change in knowledge and skill base through HRD interventions, so we are going to change it through HRD intervention. So, this skill and knowledge is to be changed through HRD intervention. So, that he is meeting the performance criteria and he could be promoted, right, and that is a major role. So, far as career planning is concerned of the HRD professionals. So, HRD professionals are concerned with learning and development activities, which would help the individual to update his knowledge and skill base, and if that happens, he would be able to perform well, and as a result he might get promotion in the career, right. So, changing the knowledge, skill and attitude is very important. So, that the person relevant, it does not become obsolete and outdated, so far as his skill knowledge is concerned, so that he could be promoted, right. And if you look at the last point, that is where he is supposed to assist employees for preparing for new work and enhance their employability. So, how are we going to increase their employability? By making sure that he has those sets of knowledge and skill which is required by the organization, right. So, he has to see that his skill and knowledge level matches with the requirement of the organization. If it is not matching, then his employability level goes down, and if his employability level goes down, it is the responsibility of the HRD professionals to ensure that people move to that employability level by updating their knowledge and skill base, and that is where HRD professionals have a big role to play in the career development of the people, right. Moving to the next part. So, what are the responsibilities that they have as a career development professionals? So, they are also career development professionals, because they are supposed to do all this which we have discussed just now, and they also need to ensure that people are going to take up some activities for their career development. So, it means that it is not only the organization which is responsible for your career growth and development, but accordingly the individual also need to see that he initiates certain activities in order to ensure his career development. So, the ownership is to be taken by the individual for his career growth and development, but the HRD professional is going to facilitate this process to ensure that you develop those sets and set of knowledge and skill which is required by the organization, okay. And that is where you become a broker. Okay. So, you are going to ensure, you are going to motivate, you are going to inspire, you are going to conduct certain programs to ensure that people develop in their careers, right. So, for that you can help individuals by looking into their knowledge skill base, what is his strength and weaknesses. So, you are using certain assessment techniques to identify what are the things that is required by the individual in order to develop and grow, right, and provided all the support when individuals are taking certain activities, right. So, you have to promote work planning over career planning. It means that you say that okay, you do those things which helps you to develop your career, because if you are able to perform your job effectively, then probably you will be able to develop yourself, and as a result your career will not be at stake, right. So, the idea is to intervene in the process to ensure that people perform those activities which help them to grow and develop. Okay. So, the idea is that you are going to promote mobility also, and make sure that people continuously keep on moving up in the career, and for that they continuously learn and grow and develop, right. And whatever resources that is allocated by the management has to be used judiciously by the HRD professionals to ensure the career growth and development of the people. So, they have a major responsibility for career growth, because they become the broker, they become the moderator, they become the facilitator, they are the advisors that how people can grow and develop in their career. All right. Moving further, we will also discuss the changes that is happening in the environment. You know that if you look at the kind of relationship at the, that has been there in the organizations is changing, right. Earlier you used to work with the one organization, you used to work for the life unless you retire. Okay. So, you know that what you are going to get, because you know that if you are in a job, this is your entitlement in terms of perks, facilities and these kind of things. And companies used to patronize people, okay, because they think that okay, you are their people. So, it is their responsibility to take care of your needs and expectations, right. And as a result, what happened, that you had been loyal to the companies, there was a high commitment, right. Now, these things are changes, because the uncertain environment in which you are going to operate in, okay, and where companies after this liberalization process are going through lot of turbulence in terms of going for lot of changes, you can say restructuring, okay, of their business processes, re-engineering the activities, right, and then redesigning jobs, okay, delayering or changing the jobs or designing the jobs. Okay. So, you will find that these kind of things does not exist today. Okay. So, are we really talking about career security, or I mean in this new form of employment relationship, where there is no promise of survival? Today, you cannot say that you in a particular job you are going to survive, simply survive because your job is secure. Okay. Because most of the government jobs are going to be privatized tomorrow, that actually used to be thought that okay, if you are having a government job, you are going to be secure. Okay. Of course, in private companies you are not secure at all, unless you continue to perform effectively, okay, and consistently, right. So, survival is one issue for the companies. Okay. Most of the government organizations are not doing well. So, they are being divested, they are being going for privatizations. You must have heard the news about privatization of many Indian companies, government organizations, okay. And now government is thinking about for going privatizations in big players like you know the airlines, Indian Airlines, even railways might be privatized tomorrow. Okay. So, if that happens, they are going to work on the objectives of profitability, not charity. So, there is no question of survival of people. So, if you have employable skills, you are going to be there in the companies, right, and then you are going to be promoted. If you are not going to perform well, then there are going to be problems also, and there is no guarantee of job until retirement. Okay. Because if company is not going to exist tomorrow, then what about the job? Okay. And people are more concerned about these pension benefits which may not be there tomorrow, right. Similarly, you will also find that loyalty is not there among the employees. Okay. So, people are very frequently keeping their changing their jobs. not sticking or keeping their job with one organization only. So, these kind of changes actually have basically brought questions of whether there is going to be job security or career security, right. So, you will find that there is no job security, but career security provided you have those employable skills. Okay. So, the issue here is job security versus career security, right. Now, if you look at this, what is job security? It means you are going to carry out your job with a particular organization, okay, and you are not going to lose your job, right. What is career security? It means you have those marketable skills and expertise that helps you to ensure continuous employment within a range of career, not necessarily with that with one organization. So, if you have marketable skills, you will find a job if this not this organization with another organization. So, today we are talking more about career security, not of job security, right, and that is more important to understand. Then there are certain other issues related to this job security and career security, okay, that we have talked about. Okay. And if you look at job security, you know that implies security in one job with one company, while career security means different jobs with different organizations, not necessarily with one organization. Okay. So, that is another difference between job security and career security. So, today we are more concerned about career security, not job security, and that is why when we are going to plan our career, you need to ensure that you have those marketable skills. So, you keep on changing your skills, you keep on upgrading your knowledge skills as per the requirement of the organization, so that you remain employable. Okay. So, the basic objective is employability. Okay. If you are employable, if you have those knowledge sets of knowledge and skills which make you employable, marketable, then there is no problem, your career is secure, but your job may not be secure, right. So, look at this when you are talking about career development and the role of HR in the process. Okay. What they are going to do? All this is related to what you call manpower planning, okay, strategic planning, then forecasting, then succession planning, and then they are supposed to go for skill interventions. Then based on performance appraisal, you are going to promote or not promote an individual. Okay. You are going to see at which level or which stage or position in the career the person is going to be there. And here you also you are going to see that okay, how are you going to do it. So, job descriptions, postings, and this promotions, transfers, demotions also, and then you also look at what is your policy, and finally, you go for these kind of interventions which could be linked with compensation and benefits. Now, if you look at the career development process as such, we will discuss at a later stage. It means that you are going to consider these 4 things. The first thing is that you need to ensure how individual are going to plan their career. Okay. Then second thing, how they are going to get a job and move in the career, right. Then the next issue is what kind of development intervention would be required to grow ahead and how it is linked with the reward. And then ultimately, you also need to see that what kind of activities organizations plan to see that you develop your career. It means that the planning has to be done from both sides, the individual as well as organization. HRD professionals have to design interventions linked with the reward, and people have to see that how they are going to do certain things in order to move ahead in the career, right. So, HR professionals have to provide support on both ways, okay. Matching requirements, looking at the career paths, see that individual career plan and organizational career plan is matched. Similarly, they also need to ensure that development interventions are planned, so that people develop those sets of knowledge and skills, so that they could be promoted in the career, right. And that is why if you look at this, you will find that career development process involved multiple stakeholders, individuals, organizations and the HRD professionals along with line managers in the loop, so that you can help people to grow in the career. Thank you very much. Okay. And finally, this if you look at it, it means that you have a number of partners or stakeholders in the process who are basically responsible for the career, and this is how you are going to match the requirements of the individual and organization. Okay. So, look at the organizational needs as well as individual needs, and then you go for matching them. That is what we have been talking about, matching individual and organizational needs in the process. So, once you look at these needs and see that how it could be matched, we will talk about that at a later stage. So, that you know that how you go about it to develop the career of an individual. Okay. And then another important activity is to plan interventions for looking at employee development activities. So, that he develops those potentials. Okay. So, through workbooks, through workshops and other kind of things, counseling, you can help individual to ensure that he is ready to shape his career ahead. Okay. And that is how we are going to see that people are able to develop and grow in themselves. And then you also need to create culture systems and these kind of things, so that people are able to develop it. It means that has to be support from the top management, line managers and HR managers for these kind of activities, and then you set goals for that and then develop your HR strategy in terms of career development activities that you are going to take, and then you see that how it is to be done, right. And then you need to make certain policies, so that people could be rotated to different jobs. Okay. You also provide them in case there is a demotion or say layoff, that what kind of outplacement services can be provided to individual, so that they can find themselves their careers, right. And then you tell what is your philosophy or management policy related to the growth and development of the people, right. Thank you very much.